What's up, YouTube? George's Silver Hunter back with something I haven't done in quite a while. My local Fifth Third had a box of pennies they were willing to give me today. I have not opened this. This could all be brand new pennies. So I don't know what we're going to get into. But I do know once we open this box, assuming they're circulated, we'll be looking for Wheaties, we'll be looking for Indian heads, and we'll be looking for a whole bunch of penny varieties that you can find in a link that I have down below this video. It's a Google Doc. Get in there. You can learn all about the various errors and varieties you can find in pennies, nickels, quarters, and half dollars. So let me crack into this box real quick, and we'll see if we've actually got a box to hunt. There we go. Let's see. Do it together. All right, we've got circulated pennies. So let's jump into this box. So while I'm going through this first roll, I did forget to mention that I'll also be pulling copper. So that's anything before 1982, I believe. And 82 was a split year, so you have to weigh them. This is a 1975, so we're going to put that aside as some copper. Copper's been on the rise lately, so you're finding a lot more people hoarding pennies and also buying copper rounds online. So that's something, if you're new to coin roll hunting or new to coin collecting or any just precious metal stacking, there's tons of copper to be found in a penny box. So bringing you in here at 10 rolls, we have no major finds, but we did have one 2009. I think this is the formative years. Lincoln penny, Philadelphia. I do have a pretty good stack of copper going, and of course I always pull from my good friend Jinx Brothers. All my 1981s, I usually save these up, and once I get a roll or two, I send them on to him because he's trying to break a Guinness World Record for having the most, I think it's the most denomination or the most number of a single denomination of coin. So he's collecting the 1981s. But good little pile of copper here. No other major finds, though. I'll keep you posted. We are 14 rolls in, and we have found our first wheat penny of the box. The back's not in bad shape. I haven't seen the front yet. Let's see together. 1942 Philly. It's not a bad-looking 1942. We'll put that up with our one 2009. We still have our copper pile going and our 1981 pile going. We got a long way to go, though, folks. Stay tuned. We're on roll 26, and just a second ago, we ended up with a 2021 dime in our penny roll, so you can't beat that. We're up 9 cents there. And this guy was obverse facing, so I could tell straight away that it was a wheat penny, but we have a 1945. Not in terrible shape. What was our other one? 1942. So two 40s wheat pennies. We're on roll 29, and we're not finding many Wheaties, but we are finding dimes. Here's a 1972 Philly. So we just wrapped up roll 30. We got a whole bunch of copper in those last 10 or 15 rolls. Our stacks of 1981s are going strong. But in roll 30, I did want to bring you in. I actually found two 1960Ds. There's one. There is the other one. This one's actually in really good shape. But there is a large date and a small date variety on these. And let me get you over here to the computer or the scope here. And we're just going to compare them. So this guy right here, when you look, that 9 stretches almost all the way down. And, you know, it's almost in line with the D there. 6 goes up pretty high. That O looks pretty big. I'm not sure if that's a large date or a small date. I would say it's probably the large date because if I compare it to this one, oh, I went too far. See how much further away that 9 is from the D? I think this is the small date, 1960. I could be wrong though. I'm going to do a little bit of research and I'll let you guys know what I find at the end of the video. But for right now, I'm going to call this a large date 1960D. And a small date 1960D. We're on roll 32, and we have our second Wheatie, or third Wheatie really of the box. It was reverse facing, so I haven't seen the date yet. Let's see here, a 1950 Philadelphia. That'll go up here right nicely next to my 40s. We're on roll 35, and we have our first foreign of the box, and it's an old one. 1952 Canadian. So definitely copper. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. The box is heating up, it looks like, a little bit anyway. Very next roll, we have another Wheatie. You can tell by the date. I believe it's 1958 and earlier. 58 might have been a split year. But before 58, it's guaranteed to be a Wheatie. So there's a 1956 D Wheatie. Roll number 38, and we have our next foreign. I believe this is Canadian as well. 1979. We're on roll 41, and we've come across another wheat penny. Let's check it out together. 1949 Philly, so our third 49. Along the way, I did find another 2009 formative years, and I don't think I told you about this guy. We had I think this is called Professional Life, but it's one of the other of the 4 2009 varieties there. Anyway, let's hope we find a couple more Wheaties. I'd like to get to 10. We'll see. Roll 46, and we have another wheat penny. This time it is a 1941 Philly. So we've made our way through the box, and what I wanted to do is bring you guys in and give you guys a little bit more information about what we found, what some of the value may be, and, you know, maybe some information that'll help you if you're new to hunting pennies. The first thing I want to talk about is this red solo cup, or Dixie cup, right? This is probably half full with 1982 or pre-1982 pennies that aren't wheat pennies and not 1981. This worked out to about 900 grams, 850 to 900 grams of copper. Let's call it 900 just to keep things simple. Take you over here to the computer. Why this is important is that if I plug in 900 grams, you'll see down here of copper pennies, that's worth about $8.88. There's, I'm not exactly sure how many pennies are in that red solo cup, but it's not $8.88 worth. So if you're a copper hound, if you're collecting copper, this is a great way to get your hands on some additional copper. We do have a bunch of 1981s over here, and I talked about it earlier in the video. These will be going to Jinx Brothers once I get like a whole roll or a couple of rolls of them. These two are full copper, but it's okay. I'm happy to hand those off to him. We did get 2 dimes in our bank wrapped rolls, so we're ahead 18 cents just on our dimes. We had a handful of Wheaties. Let's see here. I think it was 3. It looks like we had 6. We had a 41 Philly, a 42 Philly, a 45 Philly. I think that was a 49, a 50, and a 56 Denver. We had 2 foreigns. I think this is a King George VI. This one's really old. This was from 1952. Actually, in I think pretty darn good shape. I looked this up, and in like mint state, these are worth about $15. I have no idea where this would grade out. If you guys have an idea, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. I think this is my first King George Canadian penny that I've ever found. I have found a lot of these. This too is like, I think, 90% copper. And this was a 1979 Canadian penny. And let's just make sure that's not misstruck. It is not. So we had 2 foreigns on the box. We did end up with all 4 designs of our 2009 penny. I think it's the 2009. Yep, it is. So I forget the names of all of them, but this is his Lincoln's Childhood Cabin. We had a couple from the formative years. We had one from his professional life. Actually, I think 2 from his professional life. And I think this one's called something like the Capitol Building or the Capitol Dome. I didn't look to see if we got Phillies and Denvers, but I have rolls of these, bank-wrapped rolls of these in mint condition, basically. So I'm not going to hang on to these, but I know a lot of people do pull them because it wasn't a huge year for mintage. The other thing I wanted to just pull out, and I've got a couple of them in that cup. We had a couple of stunners. This 66 was really nice, so I just pulled it aside. There's nothing special about it, but I did want to just pull it aside to show you there's a handful of really nice older pennies in there, and I've got some empty penny books, and one of these days I need to sit down and just fill them up, and as I go through boxes of pennies, see what I can do to finish those books out. The last thing I wanted to bring you to, and I talked about it in the middle of the video, was I had two 1960D pennies, and I believe I have both the large date and the small date variety. I'm going to take you over to the computer here and show you why I think I have one of each, and to help you, next time maybe you pull some 1960Ds, and so you know what to look for. So I took a picture of each of those pennies. I put them in Photoshop. This is from a digital microscope with the exact same zoom, and I've put some blue lines on these things to help show where the size and shape of these dates is different. So the top one is the large date. The bottom one is the small date. I think the 0 makes it pretty obvious. The one on the bottom is more oval-like. One on the top is more circular. The other main giveaway is the size of the stem of the 6. So when I put this line, so it's on top of the 1, you can see about how much of this stem comes out of this line. You see how long this is. And when I look at it against the bottom one, it's much, much shorter. The same can be said for when you look at the bottom, like when you line up the 6 and the 0, you can see how small the 1 is compared to where the 1 is up here on the top. So I know it's hard to do this with the naked eye. I've found these before, and this is how I did it last time. So if you're pretty good with a computer and can get some pictures and get them side by side, it's a lot easier to tell. I don't think there's any major value here. If they're in mint state condition, there's some money to be made. But the condition of these two coins, I'm not thinking I have a lot of money on my hands here, but I'll flip these up and hang on to them. With that, we've reached the end of our penny box. This was a whole lot of fun. It's been a long time since I've been able to do a box of pennies. It does take, if you're new to coin roll hunting, doing penny boxes takes a very long time. $25 worth of pennies is, I'm not even going to try to do the math. I think it's like 5,000 individual coins, if I have that right. And, when you do $50, you got $500 worth, but it's only 1,000 coins in that box. So pennies are small. You do need a microscope or some sort of magnifying glass, but they can be a lot of fun and they can be very lucrative. There's a lot of pennies that are worth a lot of money out there. I do have a link in my description down below for varieties and errors that you could be looking for, and you can always check for values on pcgs.com. So with that, we're going to wrap it up here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, if you're new to the channel, please make sure you go down below this video, click on that thumbs up button, click on that subscribe button, then click on that little bell and select all so you get notified each and every time I release a new video. And I hope you guys did enjoy this one. I'm back in the saddle, so I'm hopefully going to get back to doing 2 or 3 videos a week, at least for the next couple of weeks. And assuming I can get coins, because coins are still pretty tough to get. But I really enjoy doing this, and I hope you guys enjoy watching my videos. So with that, take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.